You're still watching the daily debate, and to be shedding more light on the main topic of the episode for tonight, I'm honored to be having with me in the studio for tonight Engineer Mostafa Naggari, the member of the Egyptian Business Association. Thank you very much for being with us tonight on the daily debate.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you.
Anytime. First of all, we have seen yesterday the inauguration of the new campus of the single university in the city of Burj Al Arab in the Governorate of Alexandria by both presidents, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and President Emmanuel Macron of France. How do you see the importance of having this cultural event, and how do you think this will be impacting the other fields such as the economy and the politics?
Well, I think that the Egyptian-French relationships are among the strongest and oldest relations on the international stage. You know, as we all have studied our modern history of Egypt, so one of the main stages was first of all at the late of the 18th century was the Napoleon campaign, or if you call it the French expedition, and this started to have the relation between the two nations basis on the civil and scientific relations and atmosphere. At that time Bouchard discovered the Rosetta Stone.
Yes.
And this was the start of having the disappearing of the hieroglyphics. After that, Champollion came and they started to disappear and decode the script, and this started to have a science for Egypt, the Egyptology.
Yes.
And it was just as we say, a soft power for Egypt and France on the same time. At that time, of course, there was educational missions sent by Muhammad Ali Pasha to France, and it was targeting several fields like humanities, like arts, like science, like the medical hospitals and so on. And this was really a base for Egypt to start to build the institution for the nation. So I believe that France was having a very important impact at that time for Egypt, and of course century by century started to have the Suez Canal. The relation really started by cooperation or exchanging relations between the nations, and after that started to have a cooperation, and after that partnerships, and now there is alignments. So the relations are getting stronger and more day by day. So what we have seen is that President Macron is trying to change the protocols of the visits. We have been always seeing a state visit or official visit.
Yes.
But today and last year as well, we have seen this is a public visit. It is not usual for a president to come and to be in the streets with the people, especially in the most crowded hubs, either in Cairo, in Khan el-Khalili, or today in Alexandria, and to talk with the normal people. So Songor, if you come back to Songor University, it was launched in 1990, and it was mainly based on a goal to try to strengthen the capability of the Africans.
Yes.
And this is giving two signs, actually. The new era, if we can say, the new days of relationship between Egypt and France. So we see that both nations are having a wider vision about how we see each other, how is the mutual respect for each other. So we believe that France is a good partner for us in the European Union, and France believes that Egypt is the main gate back to Africa after periods of revolutions and liberty in Africa. Now France is trying to be back on another scenario with a soft power, by education, by helping people, by trying to have a mutual respect and mutual benefits. So the sign today is that to launch the new campus with really a very nice buildings which you have seen today in Borg Al Arab is a sign about the relation between Egypt and France in the side of the science and humanities. Of course, on the other side, on the business side, of course, we have seen that there was a lot of activities given by the French to Egypt. Even at the time of Muhammad Ali Pasha, at the time he was sending students for France, but on the other side, the French engineers was having a big portion of building bridges and roads and hospitals and schools on the same time. So there was always a win-win situation, if we can say. It's really was very clear relation between the two nations. Suez Canal, at the end, it was one of the most important waterways in the whole world. It is at least covering transport of commodities and services and trade between the east and the north. So it has saved a lot of time, and it was a very brilliant idea, and we have seen nowadays that it is one of the most important legs for the trade in the whole world. France is always, with its investments in Egypt, starting from metro, the Cairo Metro, Line 1, and now they are also doing a great job in maintaining Line 2 and 6, and also they have the train which is linking Rubeki industrial zone to 10th of Ramadan, and also they have Abu Qir Metro. So they are always in the services, they are always in the industrial engineering services. We have to remember that at least 4 or 5 types of the French cars are either assembled or manufactured nowadays in Egypt. So they are having a big project for the green energy and ammonia. I think it will start production in 2029. They have several projects in the education, and I think there was an agreement last year, it was signed 2025, about 100 schools of Francophone. So I think France is trying to understand the position of Egypt, that we are the gate, really Egypt is the gate to Africa, to be back after periods of occupation and so on and so on.
Yes, Engineer Mostafa Naggari, that was an overview for the visit that took place yesterday in Alexandria, and the Governorate of Alexandria, and to be inaugurating the new campus of Senghor University. So a multifaceted visit, but I would like to focus on one important topic that you've raised, the atmosphere of friendliness between President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the French President as well. This is not the first time, because we can see the same scenario, the same story with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the American President, for example, Donald Trump. The French President, Emmanuel Macron, as you mentioned, he was here in 2025 amongst the people in downtown Cairo, in Khan al-Khalili, yesterday in Alexandria, visiting the citadel of Qaitbay and having just normal touristic visits to the city of Alexandria, or the Governorate of Alexandria. And we have seen the photos and the pictures and the images on social media between both presidents. What does this say about the nature of the bilateral relationship between both presidents and both nations, and how do you think this will be affecting the tourism numbers, especially the tourists coming from France to Egypt in the upcoming year?
I think that, as we call, there is a chemistry between the two leaders, starting maybe at the time that President Macron had the responsibility for that. And I think that we have seen President Macron coming to Egypt only on the last 2 years for 4 or 5 times.
Yes.
So there is, of course, it happens always between leaders that there is like a good communication or understanding, and we don't have to forget that always France was to the side of Egypt and to the Arabs, of course, except War 56 was because also of Suez Canal.
Yes.
But of course, France was always supporting the Palestinian case and also supporting the stability and if we say a type of helping Egypt by interfering in the unforeseen and unstable political situation either in Libya or Sudan. So they understand there is a relation based on economical and the political visions between the two leaders, and I believe that it will be more and more. I do hope, of course, that France would play a bigger role in Africa.
Yes.
And could help with Egypt by using the Egyptian companies to launch and to promote decent life for the Africans by the help of the Egyptian companies, because as we have seen, the decent life program in Egypt was very successful, and I think that France understands that Egypt can play a role in that. Moreover, of course, there was a lot of discussion last 2 months about that France may use Port Said as a big logistic hub for the French wheat. And this is really another vision of the food safety and the food stability for the region.
Yes.
So there is always very strategic projects and very strategic files which is discussed always between the two nations, and I think we are on the proper way, and we see every day that there is new projects. Nowadays I'm here to tell you that not less than 180 French companies are investing in Egypt with more maybe having a ceiling of 10 billion euros, and there is projects underway until 2030 with 7 billion euros. They are covering more than 50,000 job opportunities for Egyptians. A lot of banks are there, a lot of hospitals. There is a lot of activities between Egypt and France.
Yes, and we'll be shedding more light on the political and the economic development in the bilateral relations between both countries, Egypt and France, as the visit of the French President Emmanuel Macron for yesterday and the one before that in 2025 are ushering in a new age, a new era of golden cooperation between both countries. We'll be having more details in the upcoming report. Stay tuned.